Ndị nke m kako no me unanokwa ọfụma. It's been a while. I know it's been such a long time. And I have come to pay my debt. I know I've been owing for like a lot of videos, so this is one of it. And if this is the first time you're stumbling across my video, this is Munonyedi and this is Bridging with Munonyedi. Bridging with Munonyedi is where I talk about the things that are forgotten and other times I talk about the things that matter. So welcome. And if you already know, this is just a reminder. So yeah, the year is almost, finished. If you use the traditional calendar, the year is almost gone. The new year is just around the corner. And this is a time where there's simply no barriers or like really tiny barrier between the spirit world and here. So this is the best time sort of to make offerings. This is one of the best times to call on your ancestors, make offerings, appeasements, gratitude offerings, whatever, because there's really not a lot of barrier, at least from now till the end of September-ish. This is a time where communication and the spirits are about. So if you've been getting prompts from your ancestors, this is the time to make offerings. So this is also the time that you have to pay attention to the signs that you get, right? Because like I said, the spirits are really, if you can sense them, you feel that there's really a strong sense of here and there. So yeah, it's really, this sensing them is really strong at this time. And on Monday was something called Aja. Aja is like, the word Aja is Ichu Aja, to make an offering, to make a sacrifice, to make an appeasement, depending on the context or depending on your intention. So usually what we do on Aja is go to our ancestral homes and make offerings to our ancestors. That's why you go to your ancestral home, to go to your own root, to your very beginning. So in the spirit of this, in the spirit of, that's on Monday, on Sunday was Aja, sorry, not Monday. So in the spirit of all of this, I pray that we are worthy and our intentions for the new year be heard, and that the new year will bring abundance and blessings in triple folds. And I also pray that our spoken and unspoken intentions be heard also, and that our paths be lit and guarded, and that we may be found worthy, and that we will not stumble or fall, and that the harvest that we'll have in the coming year will be bountiful and will be filled with abundance for the coming year. And also, we give thanks in Eke, we give thanks in Olia, we give thanks in Afo, we give thanks in Nko. We give thanks to Ani for providing. We give thanks to Ike, we give thanks to Oma. We give thanks to Nche. We give thanks to Sebulua. We give thanks and we hope that we are found worthy. And, we hope that our ancestors, wherever they are, will come and join hands in making our offerings worthy and making our prayers answered speedily, and making the new year be filled with so many wonderful things in abundance for us. You see. So in the light of this, I want to talk about how our worship has always been intertwined with our daily lives. How it always starts from you, then it spreads to your umuna, like that to your extended community. So we have always been spirit beings. We have always been one with the spirit. That's why somehow it looks like 1 minute we're secular and the next minute we're really highly spiritual. And this is in the things that we do. It's in the ways that we express ourselves. It's in the way that we talk. It's in the way that we make music. It's in the way that our gongs ring. It's in the way that we drum. It's in the way that we do every tiny thing that we do. And because, self is sort of important in African spirituality in Odinani. Self is important because, in my own way, if you know yourself, then you know the things that you can do and the things that you can't do. So it is important to know yourself. And because we have always been one with the spirit, and have always been highly spiritual. At this point where there is a disconnect for so many people, at this point where there is so much going on, and sometimes we don't know how to shut our minds and shut out the outside noise and listen to that quiet voice inside of us, because somehow we have forgotten our songs, we have forgotten what makes us us, we have forgotten the things that make us tick, we have forgotten why we are important in the scheme of things, we have forgotten who we are. And it is why it is easy to actively demonize our spirituality in the way that we pray, in the way that we talk, in the way that we carry out our rituals, in the ways that we make our offerings, in the way that we teach and preach about African spirituality. That's why it is easy for it to be demonized. When we pray and we say that that won't stumble or fall, it is paramount, because when you stumble and you fall, somehow things can be difficult at that stage and at that point, and we can become discouraged, right? So this is even for us who are spiritual beings, who are conscious of our spirit self, who are one and in tune with our chi. Sometimes we can become discouraged. Sometimes we will want to pander to the gazes of other things and people, society and things. And in pandering to this thing, we forget who we are, because we want to do follow, right? It feels, and sometimes for most of us, so in the light of all of this that I've said, and I hope that our prayers are heard and answered, we need to understand and remember that we are spirit beings, and that we have always and will always communicate with the spirit. We should also remember that the difference between before and now is that most of us are out of tune. The difference is that we have forgotten our song. We no longer know who we are. We no longer know how to pay attention. And most importantly, we don't know how to shut out the outside noise so that we can listen to that quiet voice that is inside of us. We don't know, because sometimes we forget, because right now we are trying to pander to a lot of gazes. We're trying to pander to the white gaze, we're trying to pander to the church gaze. You don't want them to call you names, you don't want them to call you idol worshiper, you don't want them to call you a juju person, you don't want all of those labels. So we forget our songs, or we shrink ourselves so much that we don't remember who we are. You know, when you have the temporal amnesia thing that you have forced upon yourself because you feel that this experience is too much for you to bear. So when we pray that we will not stumble and we will not fall, it is a very important prayer, because when we fall, sometimes we become discouraged. When we fall, we forget how to get up. When we fall, we don't remember the other things that are important that makes us us. When we fall, sometimes we wallow in the pain of that fall, that we don't remember to examine every other aspect, because that fall is just a tiny aspect of our lives. So we even forget to learn a lesson in that fall, because we are so busy crying. Now, I'm not saying don't cry, because emotions are important. You have to express yourself in every form. So cry, feel guilty, feel regret, feel all the emotions that come with that fall, feel the pain, feel the hurt. But what you shouldn't forget is how to stand up after that fall. So in all of this, know when to shut the voices outside and listen to that quiet voice inside of you, because your spirit always knows. Your spirit is true. Your chi will never mislead you. You can only say that your chi misled you because you haven't paid attention. And you know this is true, because all the times that you don't pay attention, you get into trouble. So this is the time to pay attention. This is the time to watch out for those signs. This is the time to make supplications. This is the time to ask. This is the time to project for the new year. This is the time to start preparing and planning. Yes, it's okay to be scared. This is the time to leave our fears behind. Why? Because your fear doesn't really do anything for you. Your fear makes you immobile. So you're indecisive. And when you're not decisive, everything is at a standstill. You need to make a decision. It's either it goes this way or it goes this way. But you need to make a decision. If it goes the way that you don't want, you learn from it. So next time you make a better decision. Right? So your indecisiveness puts you in a spot. And fear causes that indecisive spirit. That fear makes you indecisive. Fear puts you in that. So at the end of the day, you haven't made a decision. You didn't do anything. You are just there in a rut. So do it even when you're afraid. It is better to do it and fail and learn from it than not doing it at all, because there you haven't gained any experience. You don't know anything about anything. So thank you for your time. This has turned out to be a very long video, longer than I thought it will be. So thank you for your time, and don't forget your song. Remember who you are. Remember that you're important in the scheme of things. Remember that your chi will always guide you. Remember that you have to pay attention. Remember that the universe is here to do all that you want it to do. Remember that you have to stop worrying and let the universe take care of you. Remember you have to stop worrying so that your ancestors can step in and do what you need them to do for you. You cannot be asking for help and be doing over-sabi on top. You ask for help, you wait, let them help you. You also have to be patient. You also have to love yourself more. You also have to respect yourself. In all of this, I wish you happiness. I pray that all your prayers will be answered. I pray that where you're seeking, you will find. I pray that you will find all the answers. I pray that you pay attention when those answers come. I pray that all that you ask for, you will get. I pray for you in Eke. I pray for you in Ole. I pray for you in Afo. I pray for you in Nako. It is well with you. Stop worrying.